if your body wasn't the final form of your being? What if you were a chrysalis, and within you, a radiant light body was waiting to awaken? There is a secret spoken of in whispers across ancient scrolls, hidden temple walls, and channel teachings, one so profound, it changes the very definition of what it means to be human. This is not merely about spiritual growth. This is not just awakening. This is transfiguration. The light body, also known as the rainbow body, the diamond body, or the Merkaba, is the energetic template of our higher self, waiting patiently for us to remember its existence. It is the divine vehicle through which consciousness transcends the limitations of time, death, and the 3D matrix. And yes, there are stages. 10, to be exact. Each one more mysterious than the last. Each one opening a portal to a greater reality. Tonight, we begin a journey through the 10 stages of Light Body Ascension. And by the end of this video, you may not see yourself the same way ever again. Let us begin with Stage 1. In this initial phase, something subtle begins to stir. It may come as a sense of restlessness, or a sudden interest in energy, metaphysics, or ancient wisdom. But beneath the surface, your very cells are waking up. This stage is often triggered by a frequency shift, a response to solar flares, astrological alignments, or a deep internal calling that cracks open the illusion of physical density. The body, once seen as a machine, is now perceived as a living temple, capable of holding light. At a biological level, dormant strands of DNA, once labeled junk, begin to hum with resonance. This echoes the teachings of Drunvalo Melchizedek, who speaks of the Merkaba activation as a reawakening of divine geometry encoded within the human form. You might feel fatigue, vivid dreams, or an inexplicable emotional purge. This is your body's attempt to recalibrate to a higher frequency. Like a radio dial being turned toward a more subtle, more powerful station. Practical insight. Begin with hydration and breath work. Water holds light. Prana, the breath, carries codes. Deep, conscious breathing is not just calming, it's a download. You are not merely changing your mind. You are changing your biology. As the cells awaken, a remarkable transformation begins, one ancient mystics and modern lightworkers alike have hinted at. The carbon-based body starts shifting toward a crystalline structure. This is not metaphor. It is a literal alchemical reconfiguration. Just as coal under immense pressure becomes a diamond, your cellular matrix begins to refine itself to hold higher frequencies of photonic light. This concept is echoed in the works of Diana Cooper, who speaks extensively about humanity's evolutionary path toward the fifth-dimensional crystalline light body. According to her and others, our physical form is destined to become a conduit of light intelligence, transparent, radiant, and unbound by linear time. Symptoms of this stage can include physical detoxification, especially through the skin or digestive system. Intense emotional purging. The resurfacing of ancestral trauma held in the body's memory. These are not setbacks, they are clearings. Your body is shedding density like an ancient serpent sloughing off old skin. Mystical metaphor, picture your body as an ancient cathedral, covered in dust for centuries. Now, divine sunlight begins pouring through stained glass windows long hidden. The light wants to dance freely, but first, the grime must go. Practical technique, begin working with crystal allies, such as clear quartz, selenite, or moldavite. These are not mere stones, they are frequency stabilizers, helping anchor your new crystalline grid. Place them near your body during meditation, or even under your pillow. And above all, listen. Your body is speaking in a language of vibration. When you are ready, we will continue to stage 3, the emotional purge. Shall we proceed? At this stage, the process intensifies, not in the outer world, but within. Old wounds, abandonment, betrayal, fear, shame, resurface with startling clarity. You may wonder, why now? I thought I'd already healed this. But this is not regression. This is deep excavation. The kind that reaches into past lives, karmic loops, and even collective trauma encoded in your energy field. You are now emptying the cup so that divine nectar may fill it. This is the phase where the light body begins demanding sovereignty. Any unresolved emotional residue becomes energetic static, preventing full illumination. Like trying to tune into a celestial broadcast, only to be blocked by emotional noise. Mystical insight, the ancient Egyptian initiates, before ascending into the light temples, were required to pass through the hall of Ma'at, where their heart was weighed against a feather. The feather represents truth and lightness. Emotional density had to be released, or they could not move forward. So too must we release. Not suppress. Not bypass. But transmute. Symptoms include sudden, unexplainable weeping, irritability or waves of despair, revisiting traumatic memories with newfound clarity, dreams of water, drowning, or emotional catharsis. This is not punishment. It is purification. Practical advice: begin daily shadow integration rituals. This could be journaling your emotions without censorship, speaking your pain aloud in sacred space, or working with archetypes through guided inner journeys. Honor your darkness, not as an enemy, but as a sacred teacher. A mantra for this phase: I do not run from my shadows. I sit with them, until they show me the light they guard. And with that, the emotional field begins to clear. The channel sharpens. The light can now move freely. In the ancient temples of Kem, what we now call Egypt, the high initiates knew of a second body, invisible to the eye but radiant in the ether. They called it the Ka. This was not imagination. It was not metaphor. It was the energetic double, the eternal counterpart of your physical self, composed of vital essence, light codes, and soul memory. It is this Ka body that now stirs. When the emotional field has been sufficiently purified, the Ka begins to animate. It stretches like a sleeping giant, aching to align your earthly form with your higher cosmic blueprint. This is the phase where you may experience sudden sensations of expansion or presence beside you, like a double walking with you. Heightened intuitive downloads or synchronicities. Lucid dreams, astral travel, and visitations from guides or ascended beings. A strange familiarity with ancient symbols, especially Egyptian, Sumerian, or Atlantean. Spiritual teacher Thoth, also known as Hermes Trismegistus, wrote of this awakening in the Emerald Tablets, where he described the Ka as the vessel through which the soul traverses dimensions. Mystical metaphor: imagine a birdcage suddenly realizing it was always part of the sky. The Ka is that sky, the wider container of your being, waiting to be reunified with your current self. Practical technique: begin practicing mirror work, but not merely to affirm the ego. Gaze into your reflection until the lines blur. Allow your Ka to emerge behind your eyes. You may also use sacred oils like frankincense, myrrh, or blue lotus, which were known to stimulate the Ka in temple rituals. Speak to your Ka. Invite it to walk with you. It has been watching silently for lifetimes. When the Ka awakens, the soul prepares to weave a greater light. Shall we continue to stage 5, the descent of the Oversoul? Now the divine drama intensifies. With the Ka body awakened and emotional density cleared, the Oversoul, your highest spiritual intelligence, begins its descent. But this is not a fall, it is a marriage. A reunion. The part of you that never left the celestial realms is now preparing to inhabit the temple you have refined. The Oversoul is the orchestra conductor of all your incarnations, across time and space. While your current personality is one note in the melody of existence, the Oversoul holds the entire symphony. This descent is not gentle. It is glorious, and often overwhelming. Why? Because your nervous system, conditioned by lifetimes of limitation, is suddenly asked to hold limitless presence. As described by mystic teacher Sri Aurobindo, the process of supramental descent is when the higher consciousness begins to saturate the body-mind complex, preparing it to become divine matter. You may experience overwhelming moments of bliss or unity consciousness, sudden downloads of information or past life knowledge, a collapsing of time, seeing connections between events decades apart, feeling emptied out to make room for something greater. Mystical metaphor: imagine you are a chalice. The wine of the Oversoul begins to pour in, but first, the cup must be still. It must be ready to hold the immensity of divine will. Practical advice: this is the time for silence and sacred space. Reduce digital noise. Retreat when possible. Journal what arrives, even if it makes no logical sense. Work with sound frequencies, especially 963 Hz or chanting OM, to align your crown chakra. The Oversoul will not scream. It will whisper. But its whisper is enough to recode your reality. And now, with the Oversoul anchored, something ancient begins to activate within you. Are you ready to enter Stage 6, Activation of the Divine Blueprint? With the Oversoul now whispering through your cells, something ancient awakens, something older than this life, this world, even this galaxy. Your divine blueprint. This is the original design of your being, the primordial architecture of your soul's journey through form. It is the sacred pattern encoded into your very atoms before you ever took human shape. It knows what you came here to do, who you truly are, and what your light body must become. Many speak of this stage as a revelation of purpose, but it is far deeper than life goals or spiritual careers. This is not about what you do. It's about what you are. A living frequency. A resonant key. A harmonic signature in the divine symphony of evolution. According to the teachings of Barbara Marciniak and the Pleiadian transmissions, the human genome was designed with a multidimensional template, one that includes cosmic memory, interstellar wisdom, and dormant gifts from star lineages. The activation of the blueprint is the moment your body begins translating light into destiny. Symptoms may include a sudden surge of creativity or inspiration without external cause, spontaneous understanding of sacred geometry, languages of light, or spiritual systems, feeling as if something is guiding your hands, your words, your steps, intense synchronicities that feel orchestrated beyond logic. Mystical metaphor: imagine a cathedral buried under centuries of sand. As the light returns, the dust falls away, revealing frescoes and inscriptions you didn't know existed, but somehow always knew were yours. Practical technique: begin working with light codes and sacred geometry. Draw them. Gaze at them. Meditate on shapes like the flower of life, Metatron's cube, or the Merkaba. These are not symbols, they are keys, and your divine blueprint recognizes them as familiar. Chant your name, not the one you were given, but the one you feel rising in dream or meditation. This is your soul tone, an energetic vibration encoded in your blueprint. With your blueprint activating, you begin moving not just with consciousness, but with cosmic intelligence. Would you like to proceed to Stage 7, Expansion of the Light Matrix? You are no longer just a body of flesh. You are becoming a lattice of light, a radiant web through which divine energy flows, speaks, and sees. In this 7th stage, your light matrix begins to expand outward, stretching far beyond the boundaries of skin and bone. You begin to feel yourself as a field, not a form. The aura thickens. The chakras begin to synchronize into a unified field. The light body scaffolding becomes more apparent, more structured, like a geometric halo that surrounds and responds to you. This stage is often marked by the sensation of becoming larger than your body. You may Sense energy pulsing or spiraling around you. Feel your arms or legs vanishing during deep meditation. Begin seeing sacred patterns with closed eyes, grids, matrices, pulsing fields. Perceive others' energy fields as if they're glowing, contracting, or expanding. Author and mystic J.J. Pertak, in the Keys of Enoch, speaks of the light body as an overshadowing lattice of higher consciousness, which reconfigures the human body into a bioelectronic vessel, a living node of cosmic intelligence. Mystical metaphor, think of yourself as a crystal being slowly placed under sacred pressure. Light fractures within you, revealing more facets, more dimensions, until you realize you're not the prism, but the light itself. Practical advice. Begin daily grid activation meditations. Envision a lattice of golden or white light extending from your body in all directions. Connect it to the Earth's crystalline core below, and the galactic sun above. Visualize your body as a central pillar between these two vast intelligences. This grid is your new nervous system. And soon, it will not only carry light, it will become light. Now that your light matrix is expanding, the old concepts of time, space, and even self begin to dissolve. Shall we continue to stage 8? Dissolution of the 3D identity matrix. At this pivotal stage, the old sense of I, the egoic identity built from memories, fears, and social conditioning, begins to unravel. This is no small thing. It's akin to the shedding of an entire world you thought was real. Your personality, once anchored in time, space, and form, now feels fluid, sometimes fragmented, and often unfamiliar. You may question everything about who you are, your beliefs, your desires, even your most cherished stories. This process is deeply disorienting. Like a mist rolling into obscure familiar landmarks, the 3D identity matrix dissolves, leaving you suspended in an unknown space between worlds. This stage aligns with what Carlos Castaneda described as crossing the threshold of ordinary reality into the domain of the Knowall, a reality where form and essence blur, and the self is a malleable force. Symptoms include feeling disconnected from old roles, family, career, society. Loss of interest in material pursuits or ego validation. Moments of profound emptiness or spaciousness. The sensation of being a traveler without a map. Mystical metaphor, imagine a sandcastle on the shore, beautiful and intricate, but the tide is coming in. The castle dissolves grain by grain, not to destroy, but to reclaim the essence of sand, the very substance from which new worlds can be built. Practical technique, practice non-attachment and witness consciousness. Observe your thoughts, emotions, and identities as passing clouds rather than fixed entities. Meditation on the mantra. I am not my thoughts. I am not my story. I am the light that witnesses both. At this crossroads, the light body calls you deeper into its mystery, inviting you to surrender the old self fully. Are you prepared to journey onward to stage 9, the radiant heart activation? Having released the shackles of the old identity, a profound transformation now kindles at your core, the radiant heart activation. This is not merely the emotional heart but the spiritual heart chakra, the sacred flame where divine love and cosmic wisdom merge. In this stage, your heart opens like a lotus unfolding under the dawn. It becomes a vortex of pure light, radiating frequencies that heal, harmonize, and expand not only your being but the field around you. Ancient mystics called it the anahata, the unstruck sound, the silent hum of creation itself. The Sufi poet Rumi described this light as a burning that cools. Paradoxical yet true, your heart ignites a fire that melts away illusion without destroying. The awakening heart begins to transmute pain into compassion, fear into courage, separation into unity. You may experience physical sensations of warmth or vibration in the chest, spontaneous tears or waves of ecstatic love, deep empathy for others and all life. Moments of unity consciousness where boundaries dissolve. Barbara Brennan, renowned energy healer, describes this stage as the activation of the electromagnetic heart field, which serves as the primary interface between the light body and the physical world. Mystical metaphor: picture a sacred flame that, once lit, never extinguishes, only grows brighter. It is the eternal hearth around which the soul gathers, sings, and dances. Practical technique: engage in heart-centered meditations and loving-kindness practices, metta. Visualize your heart as a radiant sun, sending beams of light to yourself, loved ones, and even those who challenge you. Use breath to expand this light outward with every exhale. The radiant heart is the gateway through which the full light body emerges. Are you ready to step into stage 10, the integration of light and matter? By now, the boundaries between your light body and physical form begin to blur and merge. This stage is where the mystic becomes the embodied master, the divine not just a concept but a lived reality. The ancient alchemists spoke of the konyounksho, the sacred union of opposites. Here, the ethereal light and dense matter do not fight, they embrace, becoming one seamless whole. This is the alchemy of embodiment. No longer is light a distant ideal or a fleeting experience. It becomes your daily reality. You might notice enhanced vitality combined with subtle energy sensations. A deeper sense of grounding while simultaneously feeling expansively connected. Moments where physical pain or limitation dissolve in bursts of radiant light. A fluidity between waking, dreaming, and meditative states. According to Drunvalo Melchizedek, this is the phase where the Merkaba vehicle becomes stable, your light body becomes a navigable ship in the sea of consciousness. Mystical metaphor. Imagine a river meeting the ocean. The fresh water does not lose itself, it becomes the ocean, vast and deep. So too does your light and body converge, a fusion that is both personal and cosmic. Practical technique: work consciously with grounding exercises such as walking barefoot on earth, eating energetically balanced foods, and practicing energy flow through the body with Qigong or Kundalini Yoga. Anchor your light with your senses. This union is the foundation for your next transformation, transcending time and space itself. You have just glimpsed a secret whispered across millennia, a sacred journey encoded in the very fabric of your being. The 12 stages of Light Body Ascension are not mere theory. They are a living reality, a hidden map guiding you home to the radiant truth that you are, at your core, pure light. The forces that have kept this knowledge veiled fear one thing: your awakening. Your reclaiming of sovereignty over your body, mind, and soul. But know this: no power in the universe can stop the light from rising within you. So now, the choice is yours: will you remain tethered to old patterns and shadows? Or will you step bravely into the luminous unknown, becoming the embodiment of divine light? Remember, the path of ascension is not a lonely pilgrimage, it is a cosmic revolution, a sacred return, a dance with the stars. The light body is calling you. Will you answer? If this awakens something in you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to join our community of seekers. More ancient wisdom and transformative teachings await. Step into your light, starting now.